This is a special edition of Scariest Places on Earth. We call it the Untold Stories. And this family, the Wilsons, will be watching it along with you and then reliving every single encounter and answering your questions about their night on the island of no return, Poveglia.
Tonight on Scariest Places on Earth, Venice, Italy is hiding a dark secret.
There's no escape from the evil in this place.
It's known as the Island of No Return, Poveglia.
It's almost as if the island itself has become a living, breathing corpse.
A cursed island.
They found pieces of bodies
that no one has dared to visit after dark until now.
I got my mother going, my sister going, my niece, my nephew going, so I have to be brave.
I have a bad feeling something's about to happen.
We're cornered. The ghost has cornered us.
Whoa, Mama! Someone's coming in our door!
I wouldn't send an enemy to a place like this.
What is it that draws us to a frightening location? What fears are we trying to put to the test? These are questions that members of one American family had to ask themselves when they agreed to go, destination unknown, to one of the scariest places on Earth. In this case, the travelers are members of the Wilson family of California. Their destination doesn't seem scary at all. Venice, Italy. But just a short distance from the majesty of Venice is an abandoned vine-covered island that hides 1,000 years of horrible history. It's often referred to as the Island of No Return, Poveglia.
Venice, the jewel of Italy.
5 miles off the coast of Venice lies a 1 square mile island steeped in evil like no other place on Earth.
It's Poveglia.
Many people have died here in Poveglia.
Over 100,000 people died painful, agonizing deaths on this island. This place has a lot of suffering, and it has nowhere to go.
Poveglia is filled with spirits. They're watching, screaming, waiting to attack anyone who steps foot on this island.
I wouldn't send an enemy to a place like this.
A family from sunny Southern California will attempt to spend the night on Poveglia.
I got my mother going, my sister going, my niece, my nephew going, so I have to be brave.
I'm anxious, I'm excited, I'm nervous, but fear doesn't come by me very often.
I do not want to discover any paranormal activity, not at all.
For me, it's a challenge. I'm always looking for something that will scare me.
Maybe hearing a couple of noises here and there, I could deal with that.
I'm really interested in seeing if there are ghosts or spirits and what they look like.
But I do not want to actually see a ghost coming towards me at all.
In terms of just being scared of the unknown, no, I'm not scared.
I think it's going to be just the experience of a lifetime.
I feel like we're ready.
But are the Wilsons ready for the dark side of Venice?
The grandeur of Venice, the beauty of the canals, the Rialto Bridge, the Bridge of Sighs. All of their carnivals, all of their festivals filled with bright colors, and yet every man and every woman wears a mask. A mask that allows them to be who they want to be, not who they really are. When you remove that mask, you see the real Venice.
Venetians know that the real Venice is very mystical, but most don't talk about it because they are afraid.
Venice is a strange town. You can feel the atmosphere, the mystic atmosphere, just to walk on the road, on the street.
Venice is teeming with the spirits of the dead. On the streets, in doorways, alleyways. They've been around for centuries. Some spirits are good, but many are evil.
When the sun goes down is when the spirits come out in Venice. They come alive during the night. When you walk in the dark, you see small lights, like flames rising from the ground. These are manifestations of spirits of the dead.
Many believe the evil spirits that haunt Venice go back to the Black Death.
Well, I think that the most famous plague was the so-called peste nera, the Black Death, which struck the whole of Europe and even Venice, and it killed almost more than a third of the population.
The plague hit suddenly and caused death to its victims within 5 days, filling the streets with dead bodies.
The bodies were swollen. Their faces and their skin would have huge pustules. There was a coughing and a wheezing and a tightening of the chest. There was a growl in the throat as the tubes began to narrow and narrow. You couldn't drink water.
When medical treatment failed, authorities bricked up plague victims as prisoners in their own homes. If anyone tried to escape, they would be killed.
Victims were buried in mass graves, known as plague pits.
There were so many victims dying so fast from the plague that when they took away bodies to the mass grave, some were still breathing and burnt alive.
They dug a hole and they hurled the bodies on there. Beneath the bodies kindling, and they would set it on fire. And the stench of the rotting flesh burning was said to have spread the full length of Italy.
The authorities formed a committee to solve the problem of the plague taking over Venice. Their solution was to ship plague victims to a nearby island.
The island of no return, Poveglia.
If you were afflicted with the plague in Venice, you were forcibly taken from your home, hooded, and put onto a boat. You wouldn't know where you were going. Boat after boat dumps dead bodies of plague victims on the dock of Poveglia. They would bring people who were still alive. They started dying. And this island was littered, as far as the eye could see, with disease, pus-ridden bodies. Poveglia became a plague island.
Thousands upon thousands died, and unfortunately, they were buried in the same way as plague victims on Venice.
The beating heart of this island is the Campo della Morte. It's the plague pit. It goes down 50, 60, 70. Some people say it goes down all the way to hell.
Plague victims died agonizing deaths, and because they were not given proper funerals, their souls were unable to rest and still haunt Poveglia.
Because so many spirits remain here, Venetians know better than to step foot on this island.
The Wilson family of California is unaware that their travel itinerary includes a stop on Poveglia.
My name is Laverne Wilson, and I am the mother of the family that's been chosen to go through this adventure that's ahead of us.
My mother's my hero. Always looked up to her, try to follow in her footsteps.
If something comes after me, I don't want to see the heels of your shoes in front of me. Victor is my loud son.
But just remember, the spirits are like these fruits. We just pick them and eat them.
Allison's one of my daughters, and she's very outgoing, loves to smile all the time.
My personality is taking care of everything and everybody.
Allison is my mom. I tell her everything, and she gives me advice. Sometimes I don't want to hear it, but I listen, and my relationship is pretty good.
Danielle's kind of strong-willed, so she wants to have everything her way.
I just recently graduated from high school.
This is like your senior trip.
Yeah, meet some ghosts. That was the first thing on my list.
Michael is one of my grandsons.
I'm 18 years old, and I'm a military police officer.
He's our bodyguard. He's going to be the one to look out for us.
He's more of, I just got out of basic training, so I should be okay. I don't think basic training teaches you how to contact a ghost.
I'm going to do it for the challenge and the adventure.
I really want to see if they're ghosts or spirits and what they look like. Something told me.
I can't wait to be scared. Like, I want to be scared just so I can have something to remember.
No matter what happens, we will all come out, just that much stronger.
I hope we can just bond together and listen to one another.
Yeah, I think we'll bond. I know we'll bond because we always bond.
One for all and all for one.
Yep.
If they have a family that they love, you don't come to places like Poveglia. They send their brothers, their sons, and their children. Why?
In the 19th century, a new chapter begins in Poveglia's horrible history.
Ignoring the past, which is nearly always a mistake, they decided that they would build a hospital here.
The hospital on Poveglia was built directly over the bodies of victims of the plague.
They knew of the plague pit. They chose to ignore it. They chose to pretend that it didn't exist. They chose to pretend that the suffering of the people who had died so horribly on this island didn't exist. And they paid the penalty.
The problem of building over graves is that the spirits of the dead can be dangerous to the living.
And imagine then you bring patients in. Men, women, children, who look around and they see things. They see the shadows. They see things more vivid than shadows, stepping out of the darkness in their room with their faces eaten away. And they tell the nurses and they tell the doctors, I saw this, and the doctors think, they're crazy. And the hospital had a surgeon who saw this as a fantastic opportunity to learn more about mental health. He would carry out experiments where he was cutting off the top of people's heads. He was looking inside. He was moving the brain around to see if the evil lay within. And then suddenly he starts to see things himself. He's pushed by this invisible force to the top of the bell tower. He stands there staring out at the concrete below. And he falls. Or he's pushed. The patient surviving carried him into the bell tower and bricked it up. The one landmark that is clearly visible from all sides of the island is that bell tower. It stands for everything that this island is.
Sometimes when I drive by Poveglia during the night, I hear the bells that rings from the bell tower of Poveglia, but I don't know why, because there is no one on the island.
500 years of Poveglia's horrifying past is waiting for the Wilson family.
I do believe that there is, forces and stuff around us.
I haven't really had any paranormal experience, unfortunately.
I truly believe anything is possible, but I think I would have to experience it or really see it to truly believe in it.
I know if I see a ghost, and I know it's a ghost, and I know it's real, that's gonna be with me forever.
I really want Victor to see something, because he's just the real doubtful one.
I would say I'm a skeptic. My father used to say, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
To him, there's no way any of this could exist, and I really want him to be face to face with something.
I'm hoping I could just walk away and say, I told you guys it was nothing.
Later, the Wilson family will be in the studio to tell you what they saw, what they felt, and what they encountered on the island of no return, Poveglia.
Coming up next.
I hear something. I feel something touch me.
There is an overwhelming stench of death.
It's breathing!
Approaching Poveglia, I begin to sense a strong negative energy. It's almost as if the island itself has become a living, breathing corpse.
Paranormal experts have come to Poveglia to investigate claims of unexplained activity.
Io mi allontano perché...
Stepping foot on the island, I sense a concentration of evil energy emanating from the bell tower. Its dark forces could have a powerful influence over the entire island.
The Campo della Morte.
The Campo della Morte, or Plaza of Death, marks the spot where a plague pit was filled with thousands of victims, both dead and alive.
I sense the taste of earth in my mouth. An unpleasant feeling of dirt and suffocation, as if someone has been buried while they were still living. There must have been many people buried alive here, and their spirits cannot rest.
The hospital.
Hospitals are wonderful places, where blessed people do blessed things. This is a hospital that cured people to death.
I see the souls of many nurses dressed in white. They worked at the hospital to help people, but they became fearful of someone or something. They felt the need to run away.
I am filled with a strange feeling of dread here. I can see an image of a desperate woman in the need of help.
The laboratory.
In the laboratory, the head surgeon performed bizarre experiments on human brains. No patient is believed to have left this room alive.
This laboratory was the domain of a powerful doctor. I can see the presence of a man with round glasses and a mustache.
I hear many voices crying out for help.
I don't know what went on in here. I hear screams of terror.
The quarantine building.
Patients who spoke of seeing spirits were brought to the quarantine room, where they were examined and tortured during months of confinement.
I can feel many presences here. There is wailing. I hear crying for help. These spirits are stuck in this place, which is the reason for their endless suffering.
The crematorium.
The final stop for patients on Poveglia was the crematorium, where their bodies were disposed of in a manner that would leave no evidence.
There is a strong sense of spirits in this room. They are quiet now, but at night they could be much more active.
Della morte molto forte. The odor of the dead is very strong now. There is an overwhelming stench of death.
The head surgeon's office.
The head surgeon's office is the private sanctuary. where the doctor kept his secret journals and grotesque souvenirs from his experiments.
I see an older man, an ugly man with an evil look in his eyes. He appears to be very malicious. Perhaps he is a killer.
This pendulum allows me to pick up negative vibrations in the atmosphere. It can seek out the area on the island with the largest concentration of bad energy.
The morgue.
The pendulum's vibration indicates that this spot is the worst place on the island. I feel that this room is a death chamber. As I hold still and concentrate, the pendulum picks up the vibrations of the dead.
I hear the drone of 1,000 voices coming from the distant past. They are mourning and crying. Poveglia has absorbed centuries of that energy. There is a delicate equilibrium keeping this place stable. I fear that if anyone were to disturb this balance, the evil forces could become much more active.
The Wilson family prepares to face their worst fears.
All my stuff, I'm ready to go.
I'm playing, don't be
If you have a happy life now, you don't come to a place like Poveglia.
The families really come back? I know they leave, but do they come back?
Unless these people are experts in dealing with the occult, I can't imagine why this family would come here.
There's no escape from the evil in this place. If you wish to risk everything that you value, you're a fool.
I've always seen it on TV and I always wanted to ride when I got there.
Tourists coming to Venice for the first time are delighted by the city's romantic atmosphere. But underneath is the occult Venice. Without a doubt, the darker side of Venice will leave its mark on this family.
If they come here, they should know what they're going to expect. They haven't a clue.
It is dangerous to travel to a place like this. Visitors could find themselves becoming influenced or entrapped by a spiritual force from which they might never recover.
These people are not armed for this. They're not prepared for this. They're not ready for this. They shouldn't be here.
My name's Robson. I see you've left the glory that is Venice behind you. Tonight, you will see spirits. Because Poveglia is one massive cemetery. I ask you one thing. Please respect this place. You do not. You will learn. Smiling is not appropriate. This really is a mistake. This is a mistake. But let me explain what's going to happen to you. If you disrespect them, they will come to you. And they will show themselves above all the others. Out of all of the people here, you will be the one that will see these things. Remember. Now, I ask you, do you wish to continue?
Yes. 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 Wouldn't miss it for the world.
This boat here is going to take you to the center of Poveglia. There is a path that leads down to the hospital. You must look for a sign. It is written in Italian, and it says, Reparto Psichiatrica. You have asked for this. This is what you want. Andate.
Here we go. We got this.
We're headed on a gondola down the river, ready for the first mission.
Man, this is a long ways around.
I don't know how we got into this.
I don't know, but I can't wait.
Man, oh man.
Yep, Victor has something in store for you. I just feel it. Because you're doubtful. You're too doubtful all your life.
I respect the spirits.
But yet you laugh in their faces.
I'm not laughing at them. I'm not laughing at them at all. Dear God, help us. Help Danielle. Help her to be strong.
You have to be strong.
Dear God, help me.
That's what you said you wanted to do, right?
Tell her to repeat, God through me strengthens my body and soul.
Yeah, Mama said repeat, God in me.
God through me.
God through me.
Strengthens my body and soul.
Strengthens my body and soul. Strengthens my body and soul. This is it.
All ashore, let's go ashore. All right, I'll get point.
Well, I'm going to stay with Mama.
Okay.
What about Mama?
You take the rear, Victor.
It's getting cold right now, just all of a sudden. You feel that?
Uh-huh. I hear something.
What do you hear?
Just some rustling in the bushes. Come on.
Maybe just our own rustling.
I hear something. I'm not playing.
It's okay, Mommy. It's okay.
I hear it.
You hear it? It's something behind me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just keep going. Go. Okay. Go.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
Welcome to Poveglia. I have been sent here for your safety and your protection. Please follow me.
God through me strengthens my body and soul.
Alright, would you come in now?
Do you see any kind of bug on me?
No.
God through me strengthens my body and soul. God through me strengthens my body and soul.
Allison. So you've made it, and you're going to continue. You're now standing in the research library of a hospital that began with merciful intentions. Unfortunately, it all ended in complete madness, with a head surgeon who committed unspeakable crimes against patients. Just as they did in the Middle Ages, you will be taken, hooded, to different locations around Poveglia. Your journey begins.
Later, the Wilson family will relive their night on Poveglia when we hear the untold stories.
Coming up next.
Whoa, Mama! I have a bad feeling something's about to happen.
Something coming in our door! I want to get out of here.
The Wilson family is now preparing to go in search of paranormal activity on the island of Poveglia near Venice, Italy. For each member of the family, the concerns are the same. Do the spirits of the dead walk among us? And if they do, can they harm us?
Outside in the middle of nowhere. I know anything coming towards me is good, so I'm not even tripping. God through me will protect and strengthen my body.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that doesn't look so pleasant. Wow. There are all type of strange-looking things around here. I don't know what's in all these jars. I see a foot in a jar. I see a brain in a jar. Man, they cut up the people here. That had to be horrible.
This doesn't look too good. Grandma, are you anywhere? Oh, I'm in a room. It's a doctor's office. And the room has a chair. It has a desk in the middle of the floor, a table with an old book and some pages torn up all over. I don't like this room. It looks like I'm in a crematorium. This is where they put people's bodies. Pretty mean thing to do. There's 2 gas chambers. There's one here and one here. I'm gonna move on. I'm heading into another room. I don't know what happened here. I believe this is where they tortured people at. Perhaps they put them in there and they hung their bodies from here. I'm really not sure. I do feel sorry for the people that it happened to.
The room is dark, obviously. Blood stains on the wall. Looks like this is the chair where they did some experimenting. We got some chains on the wall where it looked like people were tortured. Here's some of the tools they must have used to torture. Some saws on the wall, some cords and wires, skeleton remains.
"10:58 p.m. inside the head surgeon's office.
I'm gonna open this door.
Don't touch nothing. Do not touch that door.
I hear something. Something's coming.
I hear it too.
Mommy, I hear something.
I hear some bells or something.
I just heard a noise up here where I am. I don't know what it is, but I just heard it.
It sounds like bells or chains.
There it goes again.
Pretty much all I can see.
Oh! Oh! Hey, I hear some noise up here I'm not liking.
What does it sound like?
Rumbling and tumbling.
I hear a noise.
Yo, you okay?
Yeah, something is walking towards me. Okay, I'm scared. God, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. God, I know you're with me, so I'm okay. I'm scared, but I'm okay, I'm okay.
"12:04 a.m. The Wilsons use electronic equipment to measure paranormal activity.
Sure is a wrong one. I know. That's why I was scared to leave. I was like, where is... Ah!
It's okay, Mom, it's okay.
Go!
It's okay.
Go! Don't stop! Go! It's breathing! Go!
Okay! You're scaring me!
Go.
Mom!
Okay, this is the room I was in.
Is this it right here?
That's the room.
Allison and Danielle, are you okay?
Yes, we're okay. We're trying to see if our temperature changes. Right here it changes from 22 to 23.
It's just a little cold in here.
Okay, did you hear that?
Well, don't listen for nothing.
Danielle, it's up here. Look, it changed from 22 to 24.
That's all we need to know.
I think it's a lot of them. A lot of different spirits. They couldn't rest. There's one standing right there. And there's one over there, and there's one over here.
Why is there so many in here?
Because this is where the doctor was that did all the evil, and they probably can't rest in peace right now. There's one right here, too. Right there. Now they're really at this door, Danielle. They're all over here now.
You just stay right behind me, Mama.
Oh, wait. Shh, shh. Listen, hear it? It's coming from back here.
Okay. There's nothing down here.
Okay, what does the meter
And
say?
I'm going with the Geiger meter.
And what is it saying?
It's saying 0. Nothing.
Keep going.
It's saying 0.
Keep going. Fix.
Whoa, Mama!
See, I told you.
Okay.
There's something going on in that corner.
Okay, the meter's going off, son. It's going up a little. It's in yellow. Uh-oh. It's going up.
Oh, man, it's going up too high now. See?
Okay. We heard something that made us jump. And whoa. There's something here.
Maybe he's laying there on the bed.
We're at a bed. Oh! We're at a bed and we just heard something. The meter is reading 3. He's somewhere around here. Uh-oh. It went all the way to red.
The meter went all the way to red.
He's in this area, in this room. There is some kind of presence.
He's following us. Everywhere we walk, he's behind us.
It's right by us again. You hear it? Whoa!
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, this door just opened.
Door just opened and the meter went high, all the way to red.
What's inside there? Walk over that way just a little bit.
We know his presence is here. We have determined that. And the meter's going crazy.
And everything is okay, sir. Everything is fine.
And we're leaving.
Didn't mean to disturb you.
Yes.
We're just gonna
just be careful.
Go out here and leave you alone.
Okay. I found the crematory. Right now, Not nervous, but a little sweaty. Let's see what the thermal camera says. Everything appears to be very, very dark. Everything seems really cold. It's not picking up anything. Whoa! Now that was something. Okay. Something just fell. The wood on the wall just fell. Okay. Probably just a loose board. Yes, a loose board. All right. I get a hold of myself. I don't know what that was, but it did shock me. So it made me jump, but I'm doing all right.
There's a lot of spirits in here.
I don't know how we can put their soul at rest. Oh, please. Please.
Physically.
Please.
Paranormal.
Over there.
I think we gotta get out of this room.
1 a.m. Inside the head surgeon's office.
It's right there. It's in that door.
See that now?
Don't open this. You want to look for the stuff to come and get you. Something's coming in our door.
It's over there. It's over there.
Something's in our room. I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here.
Okay, just wait, Danielle. Calm down. Just calm down. It's not doing anything to us.
It's scaring me. I want to get out of here.
People have died here in Poveglia.
Over 100,000 people died painful, agonizing deaths on this island. This place has a lot of suffering, and it has nowhere to go.
Ci sono degli angoli anche.
Poveglia is filled with spirits. They're watching, screaming, waiting to attack anyone who steps foot on this island.
I wouldn't send an enemy to a place like this.
A family from sunny Southern California will attempt to spend the night on Poveglia.
I got my mother going, my sister going, my niece, my nephew going, so I have to be brave.
I'm anxious, I'm excited, I'm nervous, but fear doesn't come by me very often.
I do not want to discover any paranormal activity. Not at all.
For me, it's a challenge. I'm always looking for something that will scare me.
This is a special edition of Scariest Places on Earth. We call it the Untold Stories. And this family, the Wilsons, will be watching it along with you and then reliving every single encounter and answering your questions about their night on the island of no return, Poveglia.
Tonight on Scariest Places on Earth, Venice, Italy is hiding a dark secret.
There's no escape from the evil in this place.
It's known as the Island of No Return. Poveglia.
It's almost as if the island itself has become a living, breathing corpse.
A cursed island.
They found pieces of bodies
that no one has dared to visit after dark until now.
I got my mother
put to the test. These are questions that members of one American family had to ask themselves when they agreed to go, destination unknown, to one of the scariest places on Earth. In this case, the travelers are members of the Wilson family of California. Their destination doesn't seem scary at all. Venice, Italy. But just a short distance from the majesty of Venice is an abandoned vine-covered island that hides 1,000 years of horrible history. It's often referred to as the island of no return, Poveglia.
Venice, the jewel of Italy.
5 miles off the coast of Venice lies a 1 square mile island steeped in evil like no other place on earth. It's Poveglia.
Maybe hearing a couple of noises here and there, I could deal with that.
I'm really interested in seeing if there are ghosts or spirits and what they look like.
But I do not want to actually see a ghost coming towards me at all.
In terms of just being scared of the unknown, no, I'm not scared.
I think it's going to be just the experience of a lifetime.
I feel like we're ready.
But are the Wilsons ready for the dark side of Venice?
The grandeur of Venice, the beauty of the canals, the Rialto Bridge, the Bridge of Sighs. All of their carnivals, all of their festivals filled with bright colors, and yet every man and every woman wears a mask. A mask that allows them to be who they want to be, not who they really are. When you remove them...
My sister going, my niece, my nephew going, so I have to be brave.
I have a bad feeling something's about to happen.
We're cornered. The ghost has cornered us. Whoa, mama! Someone's coming in our
I wouldn't send an enemy to a place like this.
What is it that draws us to a frightening location? What fears are we trying to